Hello, Grandmasters. Mike Amore from the Westchester Chess Academy. I've had a lot of requests recently to show you folks how to sign up for your very first tournament. So if you are a WCA student, or maybe you attend an after-school program at schools like Ward in New Rochelle or Chatsworth and Larchmont, it could be anywhere. If you are between kindergarten and high school, 12th grade, you can play in these local tournaments. When you decide to sign up, my advice is to play at a National Scholastic Chess Foundation tournament. This is the website you should have been directed to from the email you received. It's nscfchess.org, and you're looking at their homepage now. So if you decide to play, again, I recommend these folks because they've been doing it a real long time. Most of the coaches in the area either work for the NSCF or we all have at one time. So we kind of know each other. And if you show up to play at one of these tournaments, there's a very good chance you'll see a coach that you know and certainly some other kids. So if it turns out you really like it, we can sign you up or get you ready to play chess anywhere. You can play in New York City, any state. But for now, let's concentrate on the Westchester Fairfield area through the NSCF. Okay, when you get to their homepage, right in the middle, it says tournaments. You'll see all the dialog boxes open up below. Click the first one, and that's the 2015-16 schedule. You'll see them listed individually here. My recommendation is to only play the local tournaments, and you can tell if it's local by where it's being held. For example, this George Washington #1 on April 16th is held in White Plains. Down here is the Ward School in New Rochelle. In the middle, or occasionally, you're going to see these national tournaments. You definitely do not want to play these your very first time out. So my recommendation, again, is scroll down, find a date that fits the schedule, and click it on. So let's choose the Ward School just as an example. It says here from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that's pretty accurate, although you can show up later. The first round of these tournaments are at 10 o'clock for most sections, so you don't need to be there at 9. If it's your very first time, I would recommend getting there by 9:30 just to kind of feel your way around, get a seat in the cafeteria, and then also just to double check that your name or your child has been signed up and is in the right section. Okay, how to do it. It's actually pretty easy, but your first time through it can be very, very confusing for different reasons. So again, hopefully my little tutorial will help you. So if we want to play at Ward, you can just click it on. And then comes this page of information. And it's a good idea to know what's going on before you sign up. So the easy stuff is on top. When, where, etc. The event type, because it says Scholastic here, and hopefully you guys can see my mouse cursor here. Scholastic simply means school age, between kindergarten and high school. And that is common. You'll see kindergartners and high school students in the same room. They're not playing in the same section, but they will be in the same room, and usually in a gym, and the parents will wait in the cafeteria, etc. So parents, you're not allowed in that room when the kids play. I hope you guys are okay with that, because some parents show up, they want to go sit in with the kid, and then they get kicked out, and then they call me up and yell at me. Anyway, so here's the fee. It's $40 to play. It's $50 if you sign up the day of the event. It's really difficult on the organizers if you walk in last minute. So I highly recommend you sign up in advance. You get $5 off if you have a sibling playing, and I think you might get one if you sign up for more than one tournament. I'm not 100% on that one. Anyway, here's the tough part. What section to play in? These tournaments are all rated, and basically a chess rating is the equivalent of a batting average in baseball or a tennis average at golf handicap. But in chess, the higher the rating, the stronger the player. And even the kindergarten first graders will get rated in these tournaments, and that's basically just some number that keeps track of how many games you win. So when you win games, your rating goes up. When you lose, it goes down. Any kid who's been at Chatsworth or Ward, they've already been prepped about losing and winning games, and they all know that it's okay to lose all of your games, half of your games, whatever. So, if you're hearing my voice here, you got this email because your kid is ready to play. And if you feel as a parent for some reason that they're not, you can always get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to walk you through the rest of this. But In order to play in these sections, you have to become a member of the U.S. Chess Federation. And that basically is the national organization that keeps track of all this stuff. They keep track of the ratings, what state the player's in, they give top 100 lists. They do a lot of work behind the scenes. So if you play your first tournament, you're going to have two costs. You're going to need to pay for the tournament itself, which is $40, and then you're going to have to pay a fee to become a member of the U.S. Chess Federation. And I will show you that when we sign up here. Anyway, back to what section. The very bottom says K1. You cannot be older than that to play in this section. So anyone listening who has a kindergarten or first grader, you definitely want to play in this section the first time out. Above it, it says through third grade, the primary novice. That would be good for anybody in second or third grade. You should play in that section. And then if you're fourth or higher and it's your very first tournament, you want to play in this booster section. For now, you can skip all of the other sections. So again, kindergarten or first grade, play here in K1. If you're in second or third, you play in the primary novice. Primary regular or for kids with ratings. And those kids who have been doing this a long time, they may have been playing for 2 or even 3 years, some of these kids. And it's not uncommon to see those kids even playing against high school students at some point. But because your kid is playing for the first time, if they're second or third grade, primary novice, and if they're fourth and above, you want to play in this booster section here. Okay, the schedule tells you, so whatever section you're in, it pretty much gives you the starting time rather. You'll be playing 4 rounds. Can you guys see this here? I highlighted it. Each section plays 4 rounds, except for the future masters, but we don't have to worry about that. None of us are going to be up there. Okay, and here's the time control. That basically is how much time they give each player. So the our sections, you can see them all: booster, primary novice, and K1. They'll give each kid 35 minutes to play the game, which could last an hour. They very rarely last that long, and you very rarely will have to play in a clock, with a clock in these sections. If you do, it's not a big deal. You just make a move and press the clock. But I can almost guarantee you your kid would not have to play with a clock, so don't even worry about that. Here's something called a bye, which essentially means if you can't make it for the beginning of the tournament, you can request a bye for the first round, which means you'll get half a point, but you won't play the first round. So you can come whenever the second round would be scheduled. And the flip side of that is, let's say you have to leave a little early to go to a birthday party. Tell the organizer in advance you're not playing the 4th round, and they'll give you a bye for that round. So it kind of gives you a little leeway on either end of the tournament. And then there's some contact information. Okay, so let's actually see what it looks like to sign up. So I'll click back. And so we're looking at the Ward School, right here. And over here it says register, individual. So we'll click it on. Most of this is self-explanatory. You have to give your child's name, the date of birth. The reason for the date of birth and gender is they have categories as they keep track of the people in the country, and they do have a separate section sometimes for girls in terms of rating lists, etc. You have to put the grade. The school, so for example, let's say we're playing from Chatsworth School. You just scroll down and you should see your school code in here. If for some reason it's not, so I'll just click Chatsworth. If for some reason it's not, you can just write in the other information or comments here that they didn't see your school, and they'll take care of that. They're pretty good at handling all this stuff. So you're filling in the basic information. Here's your school. Then select your section. So let's say you have a 3rd grader. You're going to put them in the primary novice. Do you need a bye? If you can play all 4 games, just click no. But let's say I can't make it to the first game. Then I'll click yes, and it'll come up and it'll say, well, which game are you not making? Round 1. Click it on, and well, that should go away. But anyway, at some point, hopefully that'll disappear, and the organizer will know that I'm not going to be there for the first round. Okay, then here, very, very important, are you a member of the United States Chess Federation? Anyone listening to this video is probably not a member, and remember that is the organization that actually keeps track of all the ratings. They're two separate organizations. The USCF are the people keeping track of the ratings. It says USCF right here. The NSCF stands for National Scholastic Chess Foundation. Those are the folks actually running the local tournament. So if you need a membership, you're going to click yes here, and then all the information that you give them will get you a card. And I think I have a picture of a card. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see this. You should get something like this in the mail. The membership type, it should say Scholastic, and this is the important part. It will have a number here, and that number is your child's ID number. So for the rest of their lives, whenever they play chess, that number will follow them around. So whenever you enter a tournament, you just give them this number, and they know how to keep track of you. I've had the same number for well over 20 years. It's not going to go away. And when you put in all this information, that will let the USCF know who's getting the card, etc. And down here, I believe they're charging $12 for these fees, for the USCF rating fee. That will be automatically added to the 40 here. Let me go back. If some of you are uncomfortable paying online, when you register, I believe they offer you folks a PDF format. It's on here somewhere. Bear with me. Let me go back. Somewhere maybe it's in details. And I believe, yes, here it is. If you go to the details section, if you wanted to mail in your registration, just click download registration, and all the information you need to sign up is on this paper. Just print it out, mail it in, and you're good to go. All right. It's a lot of information. I hope you guys are able to to pick it all up. And here's one other thing before I let you go. On that homepage of the NSCF, when you click it on, their FAQ section is very good. So, for example, how do I know if I'll win a trophy? What do I do when I arrive at the tournament? How do I find my opponent? All of these questions, they're asked so many times, and they're great questions to ask. So you can just check this out. They'll help you out a lot. And if you're still stuck at that point, you can just respond to the original email that you got, and if it comes to me, I would be happy to help you guys out. Okay? All right. Good luck when you get there, and remember, life is touch move. You touch a piece, you have to move it. So make sure you think before you do. Okay, Grandmasters.